Apparently Gayle was smoking. They never blame Gayle smoking for her cancer and illnesses. This person says that there are lighters around, ashtrays to the side, the house smelled of cigarettes, and that everybody knew. Classmates apparently just had discussed it after Calley and Casey became the orators of behavior change and how it's all diet and exercise. So a very helpful environment for children.
So misleading.
Welcome back to Making It Awkward. I'm Jessica Wilson, dietitian and author of It's Always Been Ours. You can find me on Instagram at jessicawilson.msrd. You can watch video of the show on YouTube, and you can support the show by rating, subscribing, commenting, leaving an Apple Podcast review, and joining the Patreon. You can also find Awkward merch on my website. Today, Selena Salfen comes back to the show to talk about Calley Means, who was recently returned to the White House after a brief hiatus. Now he's the Trump administration's permanent food and nutrition advisor. Selena and I discuss information that will be in the eventual true crime documentary about his life. I'm thinking that a George Santos meets Elizabeth Holmes meets Fire Festival documentary will be the vibe. The bold lies and lacking acknowledgement when presented with the truth of his origin story, the medical overpromises, and the gathering of people around a nice idea but zero follow-through, I think will be the main themes. Some details about Calley and Casey's upbringing are shared today, brought to us by someone who spent time at the Means' home growing up. They include what Casey smelled like at school each day. Since Selena was last on the show to talk about the grifts of Casey and Calley, Vanity Fair published a 6-month investigation on Calley. The publication says it interviewed more than 60 people and reviewed 24 of Means' public appearances since 2023. Though a central part of Calley's origin story was having been a lobbyist for Big Food and Big Pharma, Vanity Fair found no record of Calley ever registering as a lobbyist. Calley's former mentor, Steve Schmidt, a longtime Republican strategist, who at one point had brought Means in to work with him and oversaw Calley's work, said, quote, "Calley Means is not a whistleblower. He's an opportunist peddling junk science to make millions," end quote. In response to what Vanity Fair found, Calley said, quote, "I stand by everything I've said." Calley and RFK Jr. spent their first moments together at the American Wellness Summit, a one-day fundraiser for Kennedy's presidential campaign, an event which closed with a shared sweat lodge experience. 6 months later, Calley told Joe Rogan that, "It sounds very woo-woo. I just had this strong vision of Kennedy standing with Trump." And now, Calley gets to stand next to RFK. I got to tell Selena a bit about the cinematic masterpiece that is Breaking Big Food, a sprawling video on YouTube that follows a couple opening an organic coffee shop in Scottsdale, Arizona, whose Instagram account advertises an 8-gram collagen latte, and who, curiously, has 7 followers who also follow my Instagram account. This couple isn't just any couple, though. The husband is Patrick Sullivan Jr., the co-founder and CEO, that's Chief Entertainment Officer, of Jigsaw Health. Breaking Big Food is presented by Jigsaw Health, and you might be able to see where we're going with this. Jigsaw Health is a wellness company that supplies supplements directly to consumers, and of course, they are partners of Calley Means' TrueMed. I can't say that we're necessarily surprised by these opportunities to increase their personal wealth while pretending to care about the health of Americans, but it is curious that a senior White House advisor, one who's involved in the dietary guidelines, isn't getting the scrutiny he deserves, at least until now. Today, I get to talk to Selena about the TrueMed gifts of the season, and let's get into all of this now. Selena, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back again.
I am so excited as our radiant and resident Means sibling scholar to bring you back, because the dietary guidelines are not coming out in December as promised for a very long time. It was announced last Friday, posted in the New York Times, that it'll be in, quote, early January. Interesting.
Yeah, I think Calley has to learn what they are and learn who writes them. And then we'll get there.
According to Time, it's going to be a quick 4-page-ish paper. The title is The Rise, Fall, and Potential Return of the Food Pyramid.
That is the title of the article?
Yes.
Guidelines.
The food pyramid might be coming back.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Kennedy is committed to new dietary recommendations that are rooted in rigorous science. It's going to address chronic disease and all of that business. But the rumor is that it might include a food guide pyramid, which is fascinating because that has been the primary critique about every dietary guideline. And we haven't had the food, guide pyramid in how many? Over 15, 20 years? Who knows?
That would be really weird. Right. Where does saturated fat go on that?
The bottom.
Oh, good.
That's the base. Saturated fat, raw dairy, and red meat are going to be at the bottom.
Good. Good.
Yes.
And it won't have any grains.
Probably not. No seed oils.
Yeah.
No sugar, of course.
Okay. And butter at the top.
No, at the bottom. Butter's at the bottom.
You're right. I thought it got its own thing, though, like dairy does.
Oh, geez. Right? Dairy.
A stick of butter instead of the glass of whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
That's funny. Dairy will have its own category. Raw dairy, butter. You're right.
Good.
The bottom will be saturated fat and meat for sure.
Yeah. And smoothies.
Protein.
Yes.
Okay. That is the breaking news.
Wonderful.
What do you think Calley will have to say or thinks about this dietary guideline process? Do you think he just doesn't know enough about it yet to have written one?
Well, looking back over the last 2 years, I think it took a lot of education for him to learn who created them and what they do and what they affect. So he's probably realizing right now that if he makes a bunch of changes to schools, for school lunches, school breakfast, right, that actually takes some power on the ground of people making those changes. Maybe he has to consult some of those people. That's just what I would imagine is happening. But he's always talked about, who he wants to be involved in this. So Mark Hyman, maybe Sarah Gottfried, maybe, definitely Casey.
Sure.
If she's available.
Well, maybe that's the delay.
Yeah, it could be Casey. But I feel like they just bit off more than they can chew, and they have to see like all the ripple effects before they actually go forward with anything.
I think that is giving them a lot of credit. I like it. I just figured that they were still fighting with the supplement and wellness influencers in their attempts to define their ultra processed foods and how that would have to then encompass all of the things that the people who showed up literally to the White House and shared raw milk shots with them are promoting. But I like yours. That was good too.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you're saying is a possibility too, but they won't be serving supplements with school lunches and stuff like that. So maybe that's easier. I don't know. I really don't know. Or maybe they will be doing that.
Selena.
Yeah.
Maybe they will. Okay.
AG1 is a vegetable.
Smoothies are a vegetable. From pizza is a vegetable. We're going. AG1 is a vegetable.
It is.
Okay. Did you have dietary guideline stuff? Or was that it?
We could watch my videos.
Let's.
The FDA says that it's okay for 10% of a 2-year-old's diet to be added sugar. 10%. Now it's just like alcohol. It's just like alcohol. Alcohol is legal. People enjoy it. It has societal consequences, but we're not banning it. That went bad in the 20s. But there's not like an FDA recommendation for it. Like the nutritional guidelines are basically it's zero. It's like and the nutritional guidelines set everything.
So dietary guidelines for Americans on alcohol: limited intake 2, 1 drink or less for women, 2 drinks or less in a day for men. So feeding children 10% of their diet from sugar, that's a specific recommendation of the dietary guidelines. Is that what I heard?
Yes, of course, that it's less than 10% daily from sugar, right? But he always portrays it as it is 10%, like that we should be doing that, not less than that. And then did you notice who creates the dietary guidelines? Did you hear him say that? Yeah, the FDA, which is not who creates the dietary guidelines. Yeah. It's the USDA. So,
no, I didn't even catch that he said that. So I know that he does not do that. Not know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to his credit, this was like one of his first podcasts, so he's learned a lot, but that just goes back to the thing that like Calley Means should not be in this position. He needs an internship. Like he is not ready to have such a heavy hand in the Dietary Guidelines Committee if he didn't even know who made them, and he doesn't even understand what they say about alcohol. Because yes, they say don't start drinking if you aren't already drinking, but then for people who do drink, they do have a formula that they advise.
Yeah. Or non-drinking. Wow. But basically it's like giving alcohol to 2-year-olds, but that's fine.
Yeah.
It's the same.
I think it is very important for folks to understand. When the FDA makes their nutritional guidelines every 5 years, that's not a nonpartisan, FDA bureaucrat making those recommendations. They put together a panel of outside experts. And it's people just like the folks that did this tough study that says Reese's Puffs are better than eggs. It's all outside researchers. And in 2020, 95, and you could Google this, it's all over, 95% of the people that made the nutritional guidelines that said 10% of sugar, diet being sugar for a 2-year-old is okay, were directly paid off. Direct payments from pharma and or food companies, processed food companies.
Okay, what do you think of that last one?
95%?
Yeah, so there was a paper that's talked about the conflicts of interest in the dietary guidelines, but one thing that's really interesting to me about Calley is his communication style. Like, he is so grandiose. Like, everything is an existential crisis. There's a genocide against kids. We're crippling human capital, all of that. I feel like he's not being truthful here. Like, no one was directly paid off. Or at least most of them were not directly paid off. And he says in other places too, like they were directly funded by Big Food. Like what he's talking about is they got research money that was, the Walnut Association or like the dairy or egg board or whatever they're called. Right. So that would be on one end of it. And the other end would be maybe General Mills or, the Beverage Association. But so it is true that there are conflicts of interest in there. I mean, I agree with calling things out like this. Reagan Chastain says this about the 2023 Academy of Pediatrics guidelines around weight. Like, I mean, it's true. It's a problem when you have these people, but the way that he portrays it is that it's menacing, right?
Sure.
And I actually had a teacher who was on the last Dietary Guidelines Committee, Dr. Jamie Stang, and there's not a bad bone in her body. Like, we don't agree on everything, but just to paint it like that it doesn't make sense. It's just so distrust, right?
Got it. Yes. And I have not heard of that Reese's versus egg study. Have you?
I have not. Reese's Puffs. I don't know what Reese's Puffs are.
Oh, it's a cereal.
It is? It's a real cereal? I thought he just made that up.
No, not like Fruit Loops. Yeah, why didn't he just use Fruit Loops? Because that seems to be the recurring cereal. No, Reese's Puffs is definitely the cereal version of Reese's Pieces. So now I need to go and find. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, well, he didn't know the food babe yet, so he probably wasn't talking about Fruit Loops.
Oh, goodness. Okay, let me go to the beginning of this guy.
But it's only valid at certain stores.
For certain inventory. And the inventory is dictated by the nutrition guidelines. And because the USDA nutrition guidelines, and this is all multifactorial, but the food stamp program goes by the USDA nutrition guidelines, okay, which is like the main nutrition guidelines for the country that set the standards for a lot of other government programs. Working for the food industry, okay, so the nutrition guidelines are pretty important. Okay, let's get to the nutrition advisors. The 20 people that make nutrition guidelines are outside experts from Harvard and Tufts Nutrition School and Stanford. 19 of the 20 advisors on the U.S. Nutrition Guidelines Committee are paid for by food and or pharma companies, processed food companies.
Okay. This comes up all the time, and it's weird. The idea that Big Food is influencing the dietary guidelines so that it can be paid by SNAP. Basically, It's the cycle of we only have SNAP. SNAP is terrible because it goes into big food and big food loves SNAP. And it's this weird cycle that I don't understand.
Yeah. And I feel like what I caught from that is Calley doesn't understand. I mean, the dietary guidelines don't really set what you can buy on SNAP. You can't buy
correct
like whole grains, right? You don't have to make like half your purchases whole grains. They influence WIC, but they don't influence SNAP. So it's just another little thing where he doesn't really know what he's talking about.
Right. You can buy fruits and vegetables with SNAP, raw meat, poultry, beans, dairy products, full fat dairy products. So like if you're trying to say people are buying these foods, if you're saying that people are buying Reese's Puffs, why is that, sir? Like why do you not understand how lines are drawn and that there are consequences to actions and not, I don't get it.
Yeah.
He's bananas.
So, it's just crazy rules. We're partnering with the CEO of and founders of Sweet Green, which is a great company, making healthy food, grass-fed steak, fast. That's not available on food stamps, but McDonald's is. So you just have wild rules.
Is that how it works?
So when I first listened to this, I was like, Calley, you're out of control because like you can't walk into a McDonald's and buy things on your EBT card. But then I realized that certain people can apply to be on the SNAP restaurant meals program because they can't prepare food at home. And, these might be elderly folks or people with disabilities. They say homeless or a spouse of a SNAP client who is eligible for this program. We don't have this in Minnesota. You do have it in California. Have you heard of it? Do people use it?
Absolutely. Do people go to McDonald's for it? No. That's not. And also the restaurant needs to be like on board and a provider. But no, they go to corner stores that are like burrito shops and like places with meals. The Vietnamese restaurant that takes it. It's just people are going to get food that are meals in sizes that may last them twice. Right? Like they're going to get a large amount of food because they're homeless, because they can't cook already. Like you said, they don't have, or they are disabled. Like you already said, the idea that I hear from him and Alex Clark and a bunch of other people is that it's just more convenient to get whole foods or real foods and it's easier. And like, you think the option is McDonald's or cooking at home. You think people are going to McDonald's and it's more expensive or whatever it is, and they should just be buying, quote, real food. And like, they do not understand that the alternative is eating nothing. That's never been a consideration.
Totally. And, his communication style, again, he's always pivoting when someone asks him something like, the British guy with the sunglasses inside, he was asking about, well, what about someone who has to, cut up a sweet potato and that labor and like, you don't have time for that. And he just it must be a debate tactic because he pivots and reframes the question to something that he actually wants to answer. So I've never heard him address that whatsoever.
I was listening to him on the CrossFit podcast and he said, but it's hard. It takes time. If Americans are too busy to do anything other than poison their children, we need to stop right now and have a conversation about that.
That's pretty brutal.
He says, like, I know a lot of people are struggling, and I know it's hard for a lot of people right now in ways that I can't even imagine.
Nope.
But what's our highest level premise? I think it's that we shouldn't be poisoning ourselves and our children.
Yeah, that does not solve the problem, Calley.
That's not a policy.
No. Just do better, try better, have more willpower, just give up other things to do this.
I don't even think it's that. I feel like the disconnect is so wide that they just think people need to go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Like that's the solution is going to the grocery store.
Yeah.
And
yeah, and people do that kind of stuff before their SNAP runs out. People do that on the first of the month and then no, I'm sorry, you can't do that anymore.
Right.
I don't think he understands that 67% of people live paycheck to paycheck. That would not be anywhere in his realm of understanding.
No. When at the very beginning, I was covering Maha, I was talking to Natalie and the late Charlie Kirk had Calley Means on the podcast, and Charlie Kirk shared that he spends $4,000 a month to feed his family of 4. And Calley was just like, yeah, that's that's better than poisoning your children. And blah.
Yeah, I remember that, and I didn't know it was Charlie Kirk that you all were talking about, though. That did not stick in my brain because I don't think I really knew who he was that much.
And here we are.
Here we are.
Yes, he'll come up later in the podcast.
Yeah. But, I mean, just his whole logic of McDonald's, like, how much is this stuff at, what is this restaurant? Sweet Green. You know, it's like, I think the cheapest thing that I found on the menu was $13. Mm-hmm. And then they have a steak salad for like $20 or something like that. And then, then they have the Little Harvest, which is like $8.25. Mm-hmm. And then if you compare that to like a Happy Meal, it just doesn't add up. I don't.
I have also heard him say, again, within McDonald's, that it's cheaper to buy healthier food because of the prices at McDonald's these days. Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you do a bunch of add-ons, maybe, but no, you can still.
Right. Like, also, has he been into, where is he seeing? Like, is he on the internet researching McDonald's? Like, sir, a meal. Oh, no. Yeah. It's interesting.
I was on the internet researching McDonald's. I can tell you a McChicken is $4.
Thank you, Selena. I had students, not even at my current clinic, but academic students who were using coupons to shop to go to McDonald's. Like, that's when they were able to afford like a warm meal, is when there were coupons for fast food, because they didn't have the capacity to cook it themselves. And like, yes, we'll say he's a little out of touch.
Yeah, a little bit.
Through a ton of lobbying, there is zero nutrition standards for the federally funded school lunch program. So the U.S. government is spending billions on that to feed kids poison.
Great. Again, with the poison.
And he can't say federally funded. I'm like, Kevin Federline funded? Like, what are you trying to say? It reminds me of the rural juror.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just shows his complete lack of knowledge.
Completely.
Like, there's no regulations around school lunches.
None.
And breakfast and smart snacks and etc. I mean, again, I think that was in 2023 when he said that, but you should know that. I mean, shows a guy who's pivoted from like selling online wedding dresses to trying to take over our nutrition space. Don't do that.
In 2023, he was going around and trying to get money and votes. And wow, doesn't it say a lot that nobody at the time was like, oh, maybe you don't know anything, sir.
Nope.
No.
Folks being hurt the most are lower income children, particularly children of color. You know, the big disparities in life expectancy between socioeconomic and racial groups in this country, you know, the predominantly is because of nutrition, more than any other issue by far. But, and you know, obviously the NAACP should be advocating for, you know, the whole food diet for their communities. But no, they took money and then they basically said it was racist to take the soda away from these kids.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's one of his big talking points is that time that he was supposedly in the room with Coke and NAACP and all of that, which is, you know, we believe that or not. But just the fact that he can say that nutrition is the number one problem and reason for health disparities, like, what is your reaction to that?
My reaction in reality always is that rich white kids eat Lunchables and Dino Nuggets, and like, there is a stark difference, sir. Yeah. But isn't it wild? No, it's not wild. We should expect it right now. And the people that it's speaking to, right? The people who think poor people are gross. Like, of course that's what they're eating, and that's why they're unhealthy. And like, why would I think anything differently? Because if it did, I wouldn't feel so good about making the choices that I'm making as a good and moral person. That's what I think.
He definitely thinks poor people are gross.
I may have some insight into why, Selena.
Do tell.
I shall. So, after a grifting episode about him, or I can't remember at what other times I've talked about Calley Means. Someone from his childhood reached out, somebody who was in Casey's grade and 1 year below Calley. And it seems like their mom came from, quote, humble beginnings, which means in America, poor. She grew up poor, moved to LA. That's where she met Grady Means, married him. She was new money. He was old money. The person that I've talked to thinks that Gayle must have told her kids that story a lot too, making it to the top. It was obviously important to her, the rise from seemingly nothing to seemingly something. And the schoolmate felt that the feeling she got from Gayle was contempt at her past life. And quote, I think it's interesting to see Calley's reaction, which I see as contempt, when challenged about food deserts. Their disdain of poverty is closely linked to her, in my opinion, and it's because she was close with it. How close our person is not sure. End quote. So yeah.
So do we believe that she was truly in poverty?
This person says that she was told multiple times from Gayle that she came from very, very humble beginnings.
Okay. So she wanted to distance herself from that and pretend that it never happened.
Yes. Gayle leveled up. Also, fun fact about Gayle. She had leopard print everything, clothes, shoes, headbands, furniture, big jewelry, bright clothing. She was loud, bright, and bold. Yeah. So definitely not like a old money.
She was tacky new money.
Which I love.
Nice. Yeah. Some Gilded Age stuff.
Heck yeah. This person also sent me one of those like giant stiletto heels that you can get like as big pieces of furniture that apparently was in their piano room. I love it. I love that.
I mean, this stuff would actually endear her to me.
Yes.
But she should not have raised such terrible children. I mean, I feel like last time we talked, I wasn't as mad at Casey, and I'm pretty mad now. Like, it matters having ice in my neighborhood. It matters that people are being taken from my street corner. And these folks are saying that they care about kids, and they don't care about kids
at all.
I mean, this is like traumatizing our entire community, and it's done that to other communities. And, you know, just the other day, ICE took a dad out of a car and left the two children in the car. And they do not care.
They do not care.
They do not care.
They have nothing to say about it at all.
Yeah.
They've never been talking to people who care about children being abandoned.
No, and based on their logic, like those kids could probably be U.S. citizens and they are supposed to care about them. I mean, I don't care if they are or not, but that's something they would care about.
In theory.
And yeah, in theory. But no, I mean, I don't, you know, they always talk about not wanting to pay for chronic disease and blah, 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 and all the money. Like, I don't want to pay for the trauma that they're causing for generations to these kiddos.
Yes. I think about that all over the world as well, and how everybody is going to be blamed for their chronic diseases as something that was food and lacking exercise. The end. Yes. If only they'd eaten, quinoa and kale and done CrossFit, they'd be fine. Yeah.
We have a lot of cortisol spiking in my neighborhood right now. And let's talk about food. Let's talk about people's lack of access to food right now because they're afraid to leave the house.
Yeah. I was just reading about a woman who was afraid to leave her house to go visit her baby in the NICU because the last time she tried to leave, she and her parents were taken. So she was returned. Yes. Afraid to go. So since we still have birthright citizenship, for now, in theory, the Means who, you know, Casey has just had a child, as has Calley, another one, should care about children born in the U.S. And those are things that I would love to ask, because which children are you talking about, sir? Like, be specific, please. And if you're saying all of it, I need to see it. I really do.
Yeah, Calley is missing something. Casey, I'm like, okay, maybe this new child of yours will make you a little bit better of a like more in touch person. Like maybe you can feel other people's pain when things aren't going well for their babies, but maybe not. Maybe you will just meditate it away.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, when it comes to diet and exercise, again, as the reasons and ways that we won't get chronic diseases, the schoolmate of Calley mentioned that a huge contributor to their mother's cancer and early death was her chain smoking, probably. But strangely, that's never been mentioned.
That has not been mentioned. They have no.
There are ashtrays all about the house. And now that I think about it as well, how often Casey and Calley are talking about diet and exercise and nothing about smoking, right? All these modifiable behavior changes, they're all food and exercise. Smoking? No. Alcohol? No.
No. RFK too. Like they just do not care about commercial tobacco whatsoever. Because they care about vapes from China and that's it.
Well, because big tobacco became big food. And so really we just have to talk about that, but we never have to, discuss the role that tobacco might play in any of these things.
In their world, I think it just went away. Big tobacco went away.
Does that happen?
I think so. Yeah.
Apparently Gayle was smoking. They never blame Gayle smoking for her cancer and illnesses. This person says that there were lighters around, ashtrays to the side, the house smelled of cigarettes, and that everybody knew. Classmates apparently just had discussed it after Calley and Casey became the orators of behavior change and how it's all diet and exercise. So a very helpful environment for children.
So misleading.
Also, fun fact before we move on, this person says that she can't smell maple syrup without thinking of Casey because she clearly had waffles every day for breakfast and always smelled like syrup.
Well, you know what? I'm glad Casey got to enjoy her eating and her life when she was young because she doesn't now.
No. What? Always smelling of syrup. That's amazing. I do love that.
That's a good smell.
All right. And such like a specific smell. Okay. And this person says that Casey quitting that residency was not a surprise because, quote, Casey being overwhelmed by her workload doesn't surprise me. For years, her mother would do her assignments and projects. Obviously, she did her own work at some point in her school career, but that kind of enabling catches up to you in various ways. At least Casey had the decency to say, no, I can't do this. And this person wonders where that decency is right now.
I wonder what she was so busy doing that she couldn't do her own homework.
Or is there something else going on with her cognitive capacity? I don't know.
She sure has the accolades now, or so she says.
She wrote a book.
I was kind of wondering if the explanation of Calley is that he thinks that he killed his mom because of being an almost 12-pound baby, 11 pound, 9 ounces. And he always says that she had gestational diabetes and they should have seen it then. So I didn't know if like part of his weird turn away from wedding dresses was because he harbors this guilt. But if he knows that she smoked, unless they were a family that just, lied to each other all the time, which I've seen that too, maybe that's not it.
Speaking of how close they are or were with their mom, apparently they called their parents mommy and daddy. Throughout high school. And who knows how often after that.
That's super cute.
I'm glad you think so.
I don't.
I feel very immature for being kind of grossed out by that. I don't know if that's a mature thing or not to feel.
No, I do not let my child call me mommy. Like we have not gone in that path.
We never did that. Is that what you're saying? So with that type of relationship, I could see them being extra fired up if their mommy passed away. Yeah.
Now they're going to mess it up for the rest of us.
Yo, Selena, what? Yes. You had to blame somebody other than your mommy. Your mommy's behaviors of smoking for her death. So it couldn't have, since it wasn't her fault, it had to be somebody else's. And now this is how we're going to become famous and make money, is by, yes.
Yeah, it's the doctors who don't talk to their patients about nutrition and exercise, but I think doctors do that.
Oh, Selena, again. Let me tell you how much Calley has yelled about that one. He trusts AI because apparently if you ask AI what to do about your prediabetes now, you'll get diet and exercise changes. But if you talk to doctors about it, that information is apparently controversial and they just want to put somebody on medication.
Okay.
As someone who just happens to be a dietitian, that's not how it works.
No.
No, the first message is always diet and exercise. Without asking what that person eats, without asking if that person is exercising. Right? That's how I know. Because by the time people get to me, they're, proving to me that they eat vegetables and, run every day or whatever. And they just also happen to have prediabetes. So I don't know what you're talking about, sir. And that's another wild one for me.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, I would say that doctors just like to be condescending sometimes about diet and exercise. And that's where they start because they want to assume that you don't know anything.
100%. At my nurse practitioner appointment, before I got to see my dietitian, I was told that my cholesterol levels are high, which of course we expected them to be because of the amount of fat that I'm eating, the lack of fiber. And so she tells me to stop eating as much processed foods and to stop eating out at restaurants. And I was like, I think I might need more complex information than that. She said, oh, don't worry about it. You'll talk to your dietitian.
Yeah, but what if you were just eating it sweet green?
And out at sweet green. Yeah, she also told me that I could be walking every day. Oh, like I could go for a walk every day.
Okay. Yeah, don't do Peloton. Don't do leg
Don't
day.
go to the gym. Don't do any running relays. What you need to be doing is going for a walk every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. The idea that doctors and medical providers don't say this and instead just tried to recommend a lipid lowering medication for me, which she did not, is wild. Like it's so perfect.
Were you mad? Were you mad?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Or annoyed. Yeah. The feeling was like, really, lady? What?
Yeah.
Like no question. It was good to be in that position because my clients or patients come to me with that all the time. Like they didn't even ask me. So I mean, it wasn't mad. It was like, oh, lady, like what a disappointment. Womp womp. Like sad tuba sound for you.
Yeah, you don't know I'm going to talk about you on a podcast.
Yes. And then the dietitian came in and was lovely. I didn't feel with that a nurse practitioner or with a dietitian leading with, hi, I'm Jessica, I'm a dietitian. That just didn't feel like the flow. But the dietitian was like, okay, tell me what you're doing, this, that, and the other, or how, have you learned by this, that, or the other? I said, oh, I'm a dietitian. And she was just so excited to talk to me. Like, this is how you have conversations and provide care, Calley.
Yeah. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. It fits his narrative of also the idea that if you eat quinoa, kale, and run, that you're not going to have prediabetes also is so fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope we all get to see how everyone's health turns out in the MAHA movement. Like if someone does get prediabetes, are they going to be like change their mind, or is it just going to be about toxins? Like it was the ABC did this to me. I don't know.
It was the polyester underwear that I was wearing.
That's right. Oh, right. Can we talk about some more True Med products?
Yes. We are recording this in the month of December, Selena, and I'm wondering, for the married, child-free podcaster in your life, what True Med gift will you be getting her?
Okay, so I'm going to get you a VirtuX, which is a virtual reality ultimate gaming system.
Oh, thank you. It's small. It won't take up that much room in my house.
No.
It's a circle-y, treadmill-y thing, but I am fully attached on my back. I can, and through my VR headphones, I can run on it. I can climb on it. I can fight invaders with it. I can enter a whole new world is what it is telling me. I'm throwing bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah. At somebody.
Some violent stuff. You can be a Ghostbuster, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it costs $3,500.
Why do I have this? Is this a way for me to get physically active, perhaps?
Yes, I do believe it is, if it works. But yeah, I mean, you get 20, 30% off that. Oh, wait, no, I'm giving this to you. But I've already maxed out my FSA on actual medical expenses.
Mm-hmm.
So I might just have to buy this for you at full price.
Yes, the FSA, the HSA spending. First of all, I need a job that offers that in the first place before I can buy a Virtuix. What are some other things that somebody might be interested in their 12 days of Christmas?
We have Haven, which blocks Wi-Fi, 4G and 5G and Bluetooth. Waves, I guess. That's what they are. Yeah.
Yes.
Whatever they are. Okay. Uh-huh. So the best part about this is you can get like a hat. It looks like an actual hat, so no one knows that you're out there blocking the 5G. You can also get Wave Stopper boxer briefs.
I am looking at these underwear.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they basically make it for every part of your body or blanket.
Around my neck.
Oh, yeah, thyroid gator.
Yep.
So that you don't get that electromagnetic radiation in there.
Well, that one's only $78, but if I wanted to go with a full t-shirt, that's $148.
Minus 20 or 30%.
Now I can afford it.
Have the card. So,
Thank you, Selena.
Mm-hmm. This is the first job I've ever had where I have one of those cards. So that's very exciting for me, I guess.
Good. Are you going to get the Wave Stopper pajama set for $478 for you and Kyle? Is that what you're going to do? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let us know how it goes.
I'm also going to get a hair max for us.
Oh, are you?
Is just again a regular baseball cap that you can wear with red light that will regrow your hair.
Oh.
So how do you think that ties into health promotion?
More hair traps heat, and I need less. I don't know. I got nothing.
I think maybe they could tie it into maybe there's something about depression, like people get sad when they lose their hair. I don't know.
I liked it, Selena. I liked it. So that's what people are going to be using money. Okay. Thank you, TrueMed.
Okay, and then here's the embarrassing one.
Oh,
I guess
the rest have not been. Okay.
Yeah. So this is Evie or Evie.
Okay.
Evie, probably. This is a groundbreaking vaginal microbiome test.
Oh, I'm excited. Tell me more.
So you get to send that out to whoever's out there collecting that.
Mm-hmm.
And they will send you back a printout of your microbiome so you can be more fertile, more less candida-ized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one that I have is another sort of helmet called Neuronic. And again, it's like infrared light therapy for the brain. Yeah. Okay. And this is between, $1,800 and $4,000. How much can you max out an FSA at? It's like per person, I think it's only 30. It's like $3,000 something.
$3,000 or $4,000 is my understanding. Yeah.
Yeah. So you could get one of these things.
That's all I
mean, this is basically just people buying toys. This is not gonna.
The summary is, you can use TrueMed to buy AG1 and toys. Yeah. That sounds great. Oh my gosh.
You can optimize and you can buy toys.
I can biohack. Biohacker toys. Yeah, why would I have to go, and mingle amongst the people when I can have a full immersive experience on my circular treadmill? It's good.
Totally. But if you do want to mingle, you will have lots of baseball caps that look like you're just really normal.
I can have protective underwear. Selena, I saw the boxer briefs. Did they have anything for the ladies or the femmes who wear, or anybody who wears not boxer briefs?
Well, that's a good question, because there is like what they call the complete EMF protection for women page too.
Oh, and you have sent me some shiny radiation proof fabric. Shields my reproductive health from EMF, safeguards hormone production and fertility, promotes long-term health, and antimicrobial and anti-odor. For $128. Oh, price transparency. Yep, we know, it's not cheap. So what makes Haven more expensive than the fabric, the manufacturing, the quality control? I don't know if they have competition. Like, why?
I hope not.
Okay.
Corner that market.
Oh boy. All right. Calley was hardcore pushing Breaking Big Food, a documentary that came out on a couple streaming services, but is still for free on YouTube. So whoever is actually thinking about this, don't pay for it. It's free on YouTube. And that's perfect, because watching this at 2x speed is not fast enough. So on your Apple or Prime or whatever, don't do that. Go to YouTube. Within the first 5 minutes, I was cackling. Actually, a minute or second. I think I texted you at like 47 seconds in. Mm-hmm. Because there is a surround sound of Calley Means, just like 5 to 10 people just saying his name, and they have combined it into this like chorus of people saying Calley Means.
Well, I know you're aware of Calley Means, right?
Yes.
This is Calley Means.
Calley Means. Calley Means.
Former Coca-Cola consulting, Calley Means.
I was not ready for that. But it, teed up the rest of the vision. They followed this couple that were building an organic coffee shop. They were going to have a little like grocery situation there. Part of the beginning of their journey was to go meet Calley Means, because they had heard him speak. And then it shows Calley speaking at a Turning Point USA event, right? Fitting. I wonder how closely aligned all of that is, because Calley's in Arizona. Yes. Turning Point USA was out of Arizona. So it could just be this like nexus of state connection or other options there. But anyhow, it felt like a really poorly done, like those biographies that people write before they run for office, Mm-hmm. It wasn't a documentary. It was like a very long Instagram reel, or like you skipped around in it. What would you say it was similar to?
Ooh, yeah. I was cleaning the basement and I like had it on the shelf, and I put it at 2x and I skipped through it because I knew you were taking that for us. It was like a bad commercial.
Ooh, okay, maybe.
Yeah, like it was an infomercial.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Yeah,
that's a great
Arizona producers.
Yes. Okay, so it takes us through, right, the couple that has the local grocery store. Looks like a co-op, but it's regular grocery store. The lady who has chickens, the guy who has goats, the cattle ranchers, Alex Clark makes an appearance, Apothecary podcast host there. An interesting cameo. She's like the only Maha adjacent one in there. I could have expected more. I was expecting more, like Fani Hari at Food Babe or any other one, which made me very curious about the production here, because I feel like they're all buddies. So, I mean, either this means it's 1000% about him, or people just weren't interested. The people.
Alex is in Arizona, right? And
yes, Alex is in Arizona.
Yeah.
So maybe this was just made in like a weekend.
It looks like it.
It looks like it.
I mean, it has nice production. Like the filmmakers did a nice job. But the content is boring as heck.
I'm glad that you can be the arbiter of that, since you have your MFA. The whole thing just got.
Yeah, I have an IMDb page too. There's one thing on it, but I get to critique.
Okay. So, my favorite part about the chicken lady, it was like, everybody should have chickens. It's so easy to have chickens. Then you have eggs. Note here for listeners, I had 6 chickens. It was very hard. And she's like, you don't need to buy soil. Just have chickens. Then you won't ever have to buy soil. It's fine. Right. Then we had, the chicken lady makes artwork too. And they showed that. So we have chicken lady, don't buy dirt. Lovely chicken lady. Also, she just makes chicken art. And
How's her art? Is it good?
It was farmy and homey.
Okay, I'll have to look it up.
Okay. The goat herder, of course, no vaccines. The people making the coffee shop are visiting him just to see his operation there. They are shooting milk out of the udders into their mouths as they're having this conversation. And the part that gets me is they're doing it from the side. So some gets in and a lot just is spraying across their face as they're having to have a conversation. It didn't look good. It looked disgusting. And this goat cheese guy is talking about how, many restaurants can't afford my cheese. And this is not serving the point. He says he only serves to rich people to stay in business. And I'm okay, what are you saying, sir? I feel like you're on the path to talking about your cheese being unaffordable. Where is the bridge? The solution is not just selling to rich people if you're in this documentary about breaking big food. But whatever.
Have you ever milked an animal?
Have I ever milked an animal? Yes.
Okay. Have you ever milked a goat?
I think so. The state fair is in Sacramento, and we used to go all the time to milk animals. You?
Okay. Yeah, I grew up with goats.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't think they were vaccinated either.
I know.
But I don't. There were 5 of them. They were neighbors. But anyway, okay, I digress. Keep going. Sorry.
No problem. Alex Clark, podcast host, says that it's easy to be healthy. It's as easy as getting up with the sun. It's easy to buy organic food. So why aren't we all doing it? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And then came the lowest of the low moments. After that, we got a profile of the Biggest Loser moment. We got the lowest of the low was the Biggest Loser. It started with this woman looking at a picture of her at Disneyland weighing such amount of weight and having, being tired and having a headache that day. And that's what she remembers. And then she goes on this journey. It doesn't talk about anything about what she did. They show her in the gym. They show her in her kitchen. She just wanted to start living a healthier life, the end. And then similar to many people on The Biggest Loser, the her of today is not a thin person, right? She was a large person then. She is not a thin person now. And I think the Maha moms in the Maha movement would see her as an unhealthy person at her weight. I'm surprised she isn't there, basically, is what I am trying to say.
Yeah.
For that audience.
Yeah, because they don't think she's arrived yet.
Yet. Yes, maybe she is still on her journey. I was surprised. I would have thought they would have taken somebody who was fat to a transformation into a very thin person and say, look, this is what healthy food does for you. But
yeah.
That was interesting.
Unless they're trying to make it relatable to most people.
To who? No, they don't care about most people, Selena. Yes. The entrepreneurs are they're building together. She has a vision. He says that he goes with her vision because he likes having a happy wife. It's fine. Don't we all enjoy having happy wives? It all wraps up with their coffee shop opening and him not being able to do latte art. But he will over time because that's one of his goals. I don't, no point was proven, but everybody along the way is talking about how the market is going to change, how people just need to start going to their coffee shop versus a Starbucks, how people just need to start buying the cheese that apparently even restaurants don't afford, how people need to be buying her eggs. And she acknowledges, yes, my eggs are more expensive, but my eggs were raised without corn. So people just need to be spending their money. The market will change. And that's how we're going to become healthy again.
Right. But they're new to this, so they don't understand that progressive people have been saying this crap forever. Me being progressive.
That neoliberalism isn't right. Yeah. And that paternalism isn't the standard.
Yeah. I mean, we've always wanted people not to go to Starbucks and go to their local coffee shop, but that didn't happen, did it? So they're not going to change any of that. I mean, unfortunately.
Yeah, the people at the grocery store, like, they don't understand that individual responsibility and choice is not the problem. It's and it really feels, again, with arcanist conspiracy theories, that that's truly what they believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's easy to believe that if you're not around the right people.
Or if it just makes it easier and better to be you, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it better.
If you don't understand capitalism, if you don't understand that a certain amount of people have to not, quote unquote, succeed, right?
In order for
it to work out for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do know. That's, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's basically just about the markets.
Yeah. And how exciting was it when the guy couldn't do his latte art?
We've barely been open, and I finally get to start making some coffee. 25 seconds.
That, my friend, is a nice 30-second pull.
Then
okay,
that,
so you're
like
gonna,
that?
yeah, a little bit like that. It's perfect.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. And you want to see like a vortex go. Yeah, and it's gonna start to spin. There you go. Now it's really going. Is it hot?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then this, I've watched some videos on this. Swirling. And then I'm going to pour a latte. Setting my canvas.
Moment of truth.
And now what?
You get, it's the texture of the milk is not frothy enough.
Shoot.
So there is one additional step to latte art. Now that's going to be a great tasting latte. It's just not going to have any art. However.
That's what you think. But I'm not done.
Oh, you're not?
Have you ever seen a Jackson Pollock?
It was ridiculous. But she was helping him. He's going to get it. Everybody's going to be healthy. At the end, Calley is the one who's going to show us the light. Yes. And he was not introduced at the beginning, but at the end, it was him, his credits as TrueMed founder. Like,
oh yeah, when's he going to get rid of that? Considering that we're paying him.
Yeah, I was wondering about if he has to truly give it up as a senior White House advisor, but I don't know. We'll see.
I thought I read something that he's going to. He said he was going to, but I don't know if that just means he's going to like transfer it to his dad or
I don't know.
He can't give it to his sister.
No, she already had holdings, so she was going to give up anyhow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cigarette companies.
Mm-hmm. So we have thought Calley has been a character this whole time, and I think he is a not good person. I don't think he's a good person. Not only like good for this country, but like I don't think he's a good man.
I don't think he's a good person either. But I also think of him as like a 6-year-old boy trying to be a big boy. So
interesting.
Yeah. And it was interesting to go back and listen to some of his older podcasts where he just sounds kind of nervous, kind of insecure, and then like what sort of pompous personality he's built up after that. Like I don't doubt that he is, IQ intelligent.
Sure.
Like he can spin anything.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Yeah. That dude can talk his way out of anything.
Yes.
But no, he's not a good person.
No. He does functional medicine though. And when he got the COVID vaccine, he had a low-grade autoimmune condition. So he got functional medicine in his labs to try and fix that.
Oh, that's nice. Right?
Right.
Yeah, they're suddenly anti-vaccine. They really weren't that until they went on Tucker.
No.
Carlson.
Yeah, they went on Tucker Carlson.
I don't want to talk about this guy on a first name basis. So how do you think that Calley will justify his or Maha's failures in a few years, in 3 years?
I think he'll say that we haven't had enough time and that people didn't know that they should be changing the markets by making the right choices, including getting things through TrueMed. Something else that I was listening or heard him say on that CrossFit podcast was now that he's been meeting with lobbyists, it isn't just about food. It's about them, their jobs and their, lives. And the way he just like threw that in. And I was like, oh, so you're saying it's not as easy to just, discount lobbyists because they are people too. And that you yourself, sir, are as vulnerable to being swayed by these people is what I heard you say.
Wait, he's feeling sorry for lobbyists that they would be out of a job?
He acknowledged that it is harder than he thought.
Oh. Mm-hmm. That's a step, I guess. But if he was such a big lobbyist before, shouldn't he have known that already?
He should have known that. Asterisks for listeners, the reports are not that he is a lobbyist. I'll link to that in the show notes. But yeah, in 4 years, so because Monsanto will be able to not be sued anymore because the EPA is gutted, and pesticides and herbicides will have even greater range. In 4 years, what do you think he's going to say?
I think he's just going to blame someone who was corrupt. Like, we couldn't get the corruption out of whatever he wants to blame it on. Plus, we stopped measuring food insecurity, so they could just claim victory, which is what they do all the time. They can control the narrative. Mm-hmm. I hope everyone forgets what he said he was going to do.
Yes.
So, yeah, reform agricultural subsidies, ban TV pharma ads, stop advertising to kids. I mean,
eliminate pesticides, regenerate the soil naturally.
Yeah. Maha food boxes. I'm just going to keep bringing that up because it was in the report. And I would like to see the Maha food boxes. It seems like a top priority. I would like these to go out to people right now.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, here's one. I think he will claim victory because he overinflates his statistics all the time. Yes. The dietary guidelines will no longer have Fruit Loops at the top. I could see him saying that is a Maha success and one reason that Maha is winning.
Sure, even though it wasn't really a thing in the first place.
Never.
And because they're saying that food dyes are ultra-processed foods and they are able to cut food dyes in some states, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's a lot of that's going to start in January maybe, or maybe that's the banning of the soda on SNAP is going to start in January. They may be able to say that they cut ultra-processed foods and that is a victory. But I also think it's really interesting to have some of these states that are cutting soda and candy and some that aren't, because we really have a good research study set up here. Like, is this actually going to do what you think it is? And I hope that someone can get funded to do that research at this point.
Yes.
And see all the unintended consequences of what that's going to do to folks.
Right. I think the same with soda tax cities and cities without soda taxes. They measure consumption of soda before and after, but their target or the reason that they have passed this legislation is for blood pressure and fat kids, and they never come back around with that information. So is that you did this, and is that your big Maha win? Is that actually making kids healthier?
Yeah. Also, I think there's like a fluoride ban in Utah. That'll be really interesting. We can look at dental cavities,
and
see how that works out. Yeah.
So, and what will he say about the next infectious disease outbreak, do you think?
Well, depending on when it happens, he may be able to blame another president.
True. Whoever it was just rolled back whatever he said it was going to do.
Yeah, or he may just say, again, it's a foodborne illness and that people didn't take enough personal responsibility to eat right, therefore they're going to die of avian flu or whatever.
For context for that, he has said that COVID is a foodborne illness because people in better metabolic health didn't die or didn't get sick from COVID, and that everyone else did, which is why it was a foodborne illness.
And I would love to see any of his research anytime he says a stat. I'd like to see that.
Right. So yeah, he's completely overinflated his statistics. So I think if he even comes down to what the reality is with, quote, childhood obesity and the numbers of people with diabetes and prediabetes and all of those things, maybe it'll look better on paper. I think people will have stopped listening to him, honestly, in 4 years. Both him and RFK. I feel like there is tide shifting amongst some Maha people who are not making money from it, recognizing the hypocrisy in especially Roundup and Monsanto.
Yeah.
Specifically.
There is a recent poll out there that shows that trust in Maha and excitement about Maha has gone down. So it may continue to do that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I look forward to following his long and creepy and sad and whiny career.
Also, Casey, like what a book that will be, The Rise and Epic Fall, and just the ability for one dude and his sister to change a lexicon. Something else that I've said over this last year is that we started January knowing that we didn't know what an ultra-processed food is, but Maha said it enough times that by the end of 2025, journalists are writing articles about ultra-processed food as if we know what they are again.
Yeah. They're funny and they're bad, but they have a lot of power, these two siblings.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they probably got the president elected.
Oh, yeah.
The coalition with RFK, I would think.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So they are powerful.
And will fall.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll be here for that.
We will. Oh, do you think he's going to run for governor or senator or House representative, or if he's just going to try and be in the DC, like, pretending policy regime?
I think he might. I think there's a very calculated reason that he's in Arizona. Everything he does has a self-beneficial reason.
I need to tell you that I watched that Breaking Big Food documentary, Selena, speaking of Arizona. There was a decent chunk of it that was a commercial for his wife's just stand-up superfoods, or what is it?
Shake Up
superfoods, or whatever it is. That's how good the documentary worked on me. And just following her around and talking about how she likes to feed her own shakes to her kids and thinks that everybody needs to have access to it. That's not something that one puts in an actual documentary unless it's about your own life. And oh, look, that's really what it was. It wasn't about big food. It was Calley. And speaking of Leslie, is there anything that you might have to say about her?
I find her incredibly interesting, and I think she could have her own episode at some point.
Mm-hmm. Selena, you introduced me to the idea of a confinement nanny via Leslie's advertisement of her own and everything that happens in the 2 weeks after one has a baby and has a confinement nanny.
Yeah, I want to know more about that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know how many nannies they have in general.
Yeah, the people that were rotating 5, through 10. That household.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we'll have to see. We'll explore and investigate what a confinement nanny is. Selena, anything else before we depart?
No, I appreciate the opportunity to talk about Calley because he's really funny and really dangerous.
I think that what you're experiencing in your neighborhood is a really great example. Like Maha, we've said many times, got people into the White House by getting RFK supporters into the White House. And now people are experiencing and witnessing the impacts of that. And it is everything that Maha is not, right?
Yes. They do not care about kids.
No,
I cannot say it enough.
Yeah. Make America healthy again is not what is happening. Nope. Making our children healthy again report means nothing. Nothing at all. Selena, thank you for coming back on the show.
Thank you.
Thanks again to Selena for coming back to the show, and thanks to the person who got to spend time at the Means' house when she was a child. Gayle, Calley's mom, seems like she could have been a good time. Until next time, friends, wear some leopard print and make it awkward. I'm Jessica Wilson. You've been listening to Making It Awkward, an independent podcast. It is edited by Jen Jacobs, who needs some underwear to keep out the waves. You can support the show by rating, subscribing, commenting, leaving an Apple Podcast review, which my dad will come back to the show to read. It is sponsored by the Legacy of Sacramento Outboard Services. It happens all the time, especially in to go back to not smiling face, because it's serious when I say, Selena, welcome back to the show.
Oh, were you actually saying it? I'm sorry. I thought you were still talking. Okay.
See, exactly. We'll put this will be an outtake.
Okay.